What up, Still Broke Podcast? You know what it is. It's your boy MM on the mic. I had to jump on this. Everybody's talking about it. We have the RG3 and Ryan Clark situation that's going on. So yeah, I had to comment on this. We having some black on black crime, so I had to go ahead and voice my opinion on this. But let's just get to the gist of it and how we got to where we got to. Um, I don't even know where to begin on. It's like, listen, we started off with this by talking about a basketball play, and now we got people's wives, now we got people baby mamas, now we got biracial kids, we got all kind of things going on here. So let's just start from the beginning and just kind of see who we think. I don't want to say who's in the wrong, but just my opinion on this whole situation. Um, Originally, it just started off as RG3 giving his opinion on Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. If you didn't see the play, Angel Reese shoves one of Caitlin Clark's roommates to get a rebound, and then Caitlin Clark gives her kind of a hard. It was I would say it was a hard foul. I don't believe it was a flagrant foul. It's just a hard, tough foul in a basketball game. And then, in my opinion, Angel Reese just overreacts with it. Okay, now RG3 goes on to say you can tell when somebody doesn't like someone. Like, you can definitely tell. And he says, and he gives examples of Angel Reese not liking Caitlin Clark. And his point was, you know what? I don't think Angel Reese likes Caitlin Clark. Point blank, period. This is the reasons why. This is what it is. So Ryan Clark then comes on to defend Angel Reese and basically says, and again, I'm paraphrasing that, well, RG3 doesn't know what he's talking about in this case because he doesn't understand the plight of the black woman because his wife is white. So he doesn't have these conversations in his home. So that gets brought into the conversation. Then Ryan Clark goes on further to say how RG3 basically wasn't a good teammate in ESPN. Wasn't a good teammate with the at the time the Redskins, not the Commanders. He uses corny phrases to describe his wife like tall glass of milk. He's posted things on social media calling himself the milkman. All these things, right? But my question to you is, what does any of that have to do with what RG3 had to say? Like, it has nothing to do with it whatsoever. Like, none of those things, although may be true, okay? He may say corny things. He may be a cornball. He may have a white wife. But none of that has anything to do with his commentary about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Nothing whatsoever. So to go down this so-called opinion and what Ryan Clark had to say, and for me, I can't believe the people who are agreeing that this is okay with what Ryan Clark has said, because listen, first of all, let me tell you something, people. Let me just go here first. Let me tell you something. And we need to stop this as black folks. We need to stop this. But let me say, and stop trying to question everybody's blackness all the time. But let me go here, okay? No matter how you feel about black people, no matter as a black man how you feel about being black. Me myself, I happen to love being black. I love being a black. I love everything that comes with it, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. I love it. People who know me, they know I wear my blackness on my sleeve. They understand that. They get that. Okay, neither here nor there. That is what it is, right? Okay, but just because I'm black doesn't mean I have to agree or like every black person. Some black people get on my damn nerves. Some of them do. I'm sorry. Some of them are famous. Some are not. Some of you get on my damn nerves. I may get on your nerves and you may be black. That's okay. That is okay. All right? And in RG3's case, you know what? I happen to agree with them. I do. I happen to agree with them. I don't think, in my opinion, and my humble opinion, that Angel Reese likes Caitlin Clark. Now, we can get into the reasons why, and we can get into our opinions and what we think and those reasons why we believe that. But he's right. You can tell when somebody doesn't like the other person. And I don't believe that Angel Reese likes Caitlin Clark. Okay? For many reasons. One, probably the main one is because she's better than her at basketball. Point blank. She's just a lot better than her. Caitlin Clark is a lot better at basketball than Angel Reese is. Simple as that. Now, there could be other reasons involved. All right? We can keep going back to the NCAA, to the national championship game. I can get into that later. But my point is this, is that just because RG3 said what he said, which he's right in the sense that you know when somebody doesn't like someone else, you can tell. Let's not act like we don't understand these situations. Just because it's a black girl and a white girl, it has nothing to do with his wife. Let me ask you this. If I agree with RG3 or anybody who does my dating history have to get pulled up to make my opinion valid? Straight up. For real question. So if I agree with him that I can tell when somebody is upset with somebody else or doesn't like somebody else, and said person happens to be black and the other person has to be white, you have to question my dating history to figure out if I know the plight of the black woman? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? Because I need to know. And if we're gonna talk about the issues and the things that come about being a black woman or just black in general, we do understand that RG3's mama is black, right? We do understand that he has biracial daughters, and most likely people are going to look at them as black women. We do understand that, right? So does that not qualify his opinion? Yes or no? I'm just asking. Does that not qualify his opinion? Because according to Ryan Clark, that in order to understand the plight of the black woman, you have to have a black wife, or you don't have these conversations. Or you don't have these conversations. And that is false. That is false. Maybe he has them with his wife. His wife may not understand it totally, but maybe he has them. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. That's his wife. Because again, it has nothing to do with his opinion about Angel Reese not liking Caitlin Clark. Nothing whatsoever. That was not a racial issue. He didn't say she didn't like her because she's a white girl. He didn't say that. He just said, I can tell when somebody doesn't like someone else. Simple as that. And then we turned it into, as in Ryan Clark turned it into a racial issue regarding, his white wife. And then goes on further talking about, well, he wasn't a good teammate here. He says this stuff here. Listen, whether or not I think RG3 is a cornball or whether I think he says some corny stuff has nothing to do with his opinion about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Nothing whatsoever. Listen, I may think that calling your wife a tall glass of milk is corny. I may think that. I may think that calling yourself the milkman is corny. I may think that. But again, it has nothing to do with your opinion with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Nothing whatsoever. So I can leave that to what it is. Okay? I can think that's corny. Okay? I can quote unquote, I don't know him, but for the sake of this argument, call him a cornball. That's what people were saying. And the term people were using. I can believe that or I can think that. But it has nothing to do with his opinion on Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark in this certain situation. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing at all. So again, I don't understand how we have connected the two. And now we got Ryan Clark's daughter getting brought into this because his firstborn is now biracial. Okay? Which makes his comments even more crazy, all right? More asinine at this point, all right? Because I didn't even know that. And why should I know that? Because I don't care. I don't care. Nor do I care if Robert Griffin III calls his wife a tall glass of milk. Now, again, would I describe my wife? I'm not married, okay? I do not have a white girlfriend for the record, if that's what you were wondering, okay? But if I did, or in his case, if he did, and he does, and he calls his girlfriend a tall glass of milk, I may think that's corny. But what I do know is that Robert Griffin III loves his wife, okay? He may love white women. He loves his wife, who is a white woman. He loves the way she looks. He is very attracted to her, and he loves his wife. And that's okay. I don't give a damn what he calls his wife. He loves his wife, which is more than I can say about a lot of people out there who are with people that they don't care about. They don't think about their wife or their girlfriends the way that Robert Griffin III thinks about his. So you gotta take care of your own home before you jump on Robert Griffin III. And since when is it a crime for a dude to be super attracted to his wife? Again, it's his choice on who he wants to marry. He is very attracted to this woman, which he should be. It's his wife. He should be. But again, this has nothing to do with his opinion on Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Nothing whatsoever. And again, for the record, I don't disagree with him. I do believe Angel Reese does not like Caitlin Clark. And again, we can argue and debate on the reasons of why that is, and we can get into all the incidents that have happened over the past couple of years. But in my opinion, and what I've seen over the years, I agree with him. But because I agree with him Does my dating history have to get brought up? Do you have to go ahead and look at the background check? Okay. You got to look at the Carfax of my dating history. All right. You got to look at the credit check of my dating history for that to be valid for you. That's what I'm asking, because that's what Ryan Clark did for RG3. He's basically saying, oh, you can have an opinion, but you can't have an opinion on a black woman because this, that, and the third, because your wife can't have this conversation with you. And that I don't agree with. I'm sorry. Now, his wife can have the conversation. She may not understand a lot of things. She may not feel the conversation the way that I would, but again, or another black woman would. But again, we are turning this into a race situation by bringing his white wife into here and entertaining a conversation with her. When RG3 never brought race into this, he just said Angel Reese doesn't like Caitlin Clark. If you think there's a racial component to that, you may not be wrong. You could be wrong. We don't know. Okay? I'm not Angel Reese, nor am I Caitlin Clark, so I can't answer that question for you. But what I do know is that RG3 never brought that up. I do know that. Out of all the examples he gave, that was not one of them. So for Ryan Clark to go there, and listen, I got a lot of respect for Ryan Clark. He is very good at what he does. He's done a very good job. He's put a tremendous career together. But in this case, you're wrong. You're just wrong. And listen, when you're on TV long enough, and you're on live TV, and you do things on live TV, you're going to say stupid things. Simple as that. You're going to say stupid things. You're going to say dumb things. And sometimes you try to walk them back, and sometimes you don't walk them back. Sometimes you stand on business, as they say. It is what it is, and you move on. But the reality of the situation, again, is this, is that we brought families, we brought wives, we got daughters, we got all these people involved in a conversation that have no place for it. Because at the end of the day, the question was asked, or the opinion was given, I should say, about a foul. And about how RG3 said, listen, I can tell when somebody doesn't like somebody. And we all can tell. We all can tell. We know this. But if my question again is, if we agree with RG3, which I do believe that I do believe Angel Reese does not like Caitlin Clark. In order for my opinion to be valid to you or to anybody else, or anybody, in this case of Ryan Clark was saying, basically anybody black, in order for my opinion to be valid to the black delegation, does my dating history have to be pulled up? I'm just asking a question. Is that the only way that my opinion could be valid amongst the black delegation? Is that it? Does my wife have to be white? Does my girl, black? Does my girl have to be black? Is that the only way it can be valid? That is my question. Because that's what Ryan Clark has presented to us in this case. And it's crazy to me how many people are even siding with this, because it's absolutely ridiculous, man. It really is. You cannot like RG3. You could think he's a cornball. You cannot like who he dates. You cannot like a lot of things about RG3. Okay? None of that is on trial here. The only thing we should be talking about is his opinion about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And you can sit here and say, you know what, RG3, or you can say to me, listen, I don't agree with you. I don't think that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. I just think it was a hard foul and she didn't like it. And you can say that, and you can have that opinion. And I will listen to that opinion. I will not pull your dating history. I will not ask who you was with last night. I will not ask who you were with 2 years ago. I'm not going to ask if you're married. I'm not going to ask how many white people you have in your family. I'm not going to ask how many white people you hang out with. I'm not going to ask any of those questions. We're just going to have a debate about the foul that happened. That's all we're going to do. That's all we're going to do. It's not going to be, we're not going to turn this into something that it's not. Okay? Could it be racial? Is there a racial connotation? Is there racial, overtones and things about that? I'm not going to sit here and lie that within a certain aspect of this, especially during the college basketball, that there have been some things that could have been created. But in this situation, that was never brought up. That was never brought up by RG3. Ryan Clark made that an issue. Ryan Clark brought that up. So again, if we agree or disagree, do we have to pull up who we lay in bed with every night for our opinion to be valid? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Because at the end of the day, this has nothing to do with his opinion about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark in a basketball game, in a questionable hard foul. Nothing whatsoever. Okay? Though it is what it is. That's it. I'm out of here. Still broke. MM. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. We out of here. Peace out.